Grab your favorite alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverage, drink responsibly, do not drink and drive, and join us for the latest episode of Why Complain When You Can Whine. Everything in this podcast is purely for entertainment and psychoeducational purposes only. Enjoy! Welcome to Why Complain When You Can Whine, making sense of the senseless. Join us as we attempt to make sense of toxic nonsense while drinking wine or any other beverage of your choice. I am Dr. Jody Larman and licensed clinical psychologist today because we are close to New Year's, but not close enough that I am willing to open a bottle of champagne. We are so close to New Year's that it's Prosecco, strawberry, raspberry. It's a Rossini from Trader Joe's.
Okay.
They say wine specialty. So since it's kind of sparkly, I figured it's good enough. And I have Hanukkah right now. Merry Christmas, belated to everybody who celebrates Christmas. I celebrate
Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah.
Currently Hanukkah still, because this year it started on Christmas, which I don't know about other people, but I love. My sister and I, when we were little, and my brother, he's younger, so he wasn't really part of it, but we hated when Hanukkah was way before Christmas. I still don't like it.
Yeah.
So I would go, like my parents would take us to their friends' houses who had just celebrated Christmas, and there's wrapping paper everywhere and gifts all over, and we're like, we don't get that. But as I got older, I realized we get presents. When we were little, we got one every night for 8 nights, sometimes 2. Then we got one big present, like a bicycle or a ping pong table on the last night. Then we'd have a Hanukkah party with my whole family and get all those presents. So actually, I think we made out way more than our friends who celebrated Christmas. We didn't even know it. Now that I'm older, though, I'm like, damn. I should have appreciated it more.
Doubled up. Yeah.
So as you can see, we have our favorite guest.
Hi, spiritual whistleblower. Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me, Doc.
Of course.
As usual.
It's the last podcast of the year.
Yes, lots to talk about.
Our best guest, our favorite guest. And I'm going to let you start. What is that?
This is my usual tequila sunrise. Yeah, I got my tequila and my tropical juices. So yeah, this is my go-to girly drink. So I'm ready, Doc. Let's do it.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
This is only I think it's like 8% alcohol. Yeah, no, 8% alcohol. I'm like, is that a 6 or a 6? 5. Even with glasses, I'm like, is that an 8 or a 6? But 8% alcohol. So it's like you can almost, it goes down so smooth and stuff. It's not like a hard seltzer though. It doesn't have a chemical taste. You can almost drink this whole bottle without realizing that you drank a whole bottle. And I know even though it is what is it called? 8% alcohol, you still shouldn't drink the whole bottle. It's not a good idea.
Listen, I'm going to hush on that because I have been guilty of that in the past.
Oh, yeah. I ended up in the hospital with alcohol poisoning in the past.
No way.
Yeah.
And that's why I love you. You're so real. Listen, you're the realist.
It's funny because I did on TikTok, I did that teenage dirtbag trend last year where it shows pictures of your being a teenage dirtbag song, whatever. And someone commented and said, you just look like a sweet little innocent girl in your pictures. It was just me as a teenager. And I'm like, oh, looks are deceiving.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put the bad, nasty stuff up.
Oh, no.
Kidding? No.
Yeah.
But no, actually, after my husband died, he died in September, and this was in June because my birthday's in June. And I happened to have gotten in a fight with someone, an argument with someone that day. And I was so upset that I opened up my fridge and I literally took a bottle of vodka, raspberry vodka, 750 milliliter, and drank the whole thing.
Whoa.
Had not eaten anything all day. Except for
you didn't remember nothing, I'm sure, the next day.
Well, no I remembered somehow calling everybody just calling people. My friend in Atlanta at the time, she's like, you're on the phone, like, go, 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 go. And she's like, stop drinking. And you're like, no, go, go, go. And I apparently don't know how I got my neighbor's phone number, but I called them. And I told people that I was done. I was not done. I had no desire. I don't even remember that part. But it
Yeah.
apparently scared my friend enough that she hunted down my friend here in California that worked for UPS. He got here, called the police. They came, everybody came. I was passed out at that time.
Yeah.
And they got me to the hospital. I guess my blood alcohol from my neighbor who's a sheriff said that if by the time they got there, my blood alcohol was like 0.2, and he said it was probably 0.26
Yeah.
or so. And yeah, when I was in the hospital on an IV, I felt fine. The literal minute they took the IV out,
Yeah.
oh, if you've ever
Yeah.
had alcohol poisoning, guys,
Yeah. My brother had it. So yeah.
worst. It's not even the worst hangover. I mean, it is beyond hangover.
Yeah.
Beyond. I don't ever, 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 ever want to ever get to the drunk hangover point. One time since then, I drank a little too much accidentally. I didn't know that how heavy the drink was, and I hadn't eaten. But other than that, I'm like, nah, I don't know. No, no,
And
no.
there's I don't know, Doc, you can help me with this. There's a name for this. Like there's some sort of, I know when some people overdo it, it's like they go through like a psychosis when they detox, like
Oh, if
they hallucinate or something happens when they're detoxing.
Well, the thing is, with alcohol, there are two things. And I used to tell people if you ever take the psychology licensing exam, you will get this question right. If you ever decided, and if you become a psychologist and want to get licensed, there are two withdrawals, I guess, that can kill you. Like a lot of
Yes.
people, when they're withdrawing off of meth or heroin or whatever, they want to die. They feel like they're going to die. They make,
Yeah.
this is killing me. But you will not die. You will be miserable, but it won't kill you. But there are two that will, if you're not medically monitored, could very well kill you.
Yeah.
That is benzodiazepine, Xanax, Ativan, that stuff, and
Mhm.
alcohol.
Yeah.
Those two, because they mirror each other the same way. And alcohol, what happens is people get what are called the DTs, the delirium tremens, and they
Mm.
hallucinate. A lot of times they'll see bugs crawling in and out of their skin. People said, and it doesn't happen like automatically, like you don't get hit with feeling sick. This one person was saying they were driving and all of a sudden just saw
Oh my God.
bugs and snakes coming out of their arm. And it seems very, very real. That's part of the
Wow.
delirium tremens. So, yeah, you will hallucinate. Or, okay, the odds are high that you will hallucinate. So, when I worked in a psychiatric hospital, what they would do with people that came in very, very, very drunk or high or whatever, they would kind of medically withdraw or medically detox them, just stick them in a room for 3 days, kind of pump them up with meds so they're out of it, and it gets out of their body, and by the end of the 3 days they feel like shit, they look like shit, but they're done with the kind of main. Takes about three
Yeah.
days to detox. But yeah, it is not alcohol, not pretty in excess.
Listen.
So
I listen, I've learned, and I have family members, my brother especially, he went through this, he was spitting up blood. So I know
oh,
the story all too well. And I have friends, like I have a friend, her brother is a chronic alcoholic, but he hallucinates when he's detoxing. So I'm all too familiar. And my ex-boyfriend, his mother was a chronic alcoholic, and they had to get her to the hospital. She had to be on an IV because she can't detox unless she's in a hospital, because she kind of needs alcohol to detox, which is crazy to me. So I've been through it, and I know it all too well.
and it's
Yeah,
not pretty. It's not
it's
something
not.
that
It's not.
yeah.
Okay.
So now that we are at the end of 2024, which has
Woo! What a
been
year! What a
very,
year!
you know what, honestly, and I'm being very honest here. Some people might say I'm overreacting. I'm being very honest. I'm kind of terrified for 2025.
Listen, Doc. You took the word. Listen, I'm just here with my popcorn and my tea because I feel that 2025 is going to be a year where it's just, we got a crazy motherfucking president coming in. And then between the entertainment industry and people getting exposed for pedophilia and sex trafficking, I think it's just going to be one shock factor after the next. So I'm over here with my popcorn. I'm like, 2025, Britt, give it to us because I'm waiting. I know it's going to be explosive.
It's what is amazing to me is you, especially when it comes to politics, you think about way not even that long ago, before 2015, but like in the early 2000s, and even Bill Clinton and all that, the slightest, smallest thing, like John Kerry, I think is his name. I don't remember.
Yes, I
When
remember.
he
It's
had
John
a
Kerry.
woman, didn't he have a woman sitting on his lap on a boat or something like that? And that kind of ended his run for president. That was not tolerated. And so he dropped out.
He disappeared. Yeah.
Now it's like you have someone who has 24 felony counts against him, an adjudicated sex offender, a
Unbelievable.
rapist, because
Unbelievable.
he already sued for defamation for rape, defamation. So,
Unbelievable.
and yet people are worshiping at his feet. And then he's got Elon Musk, who the interesting thing is those two, this is what I'm
Doc, I'm hearing they're turning on each other now, though. I'm
that okay,
hearing
that's what
stuff
I was gonna
is,
say. This
I'm
is what I'm
hearing,
kind of excited about, to be honest, is when you get a narcissist, a true
yes.
textbook narcissist, and then you get someone like Elon Musk who is so egocentric, might be on the spectrum. I don't know him well enough. And being on the spectrum is not the problem. I'm not saying that, but he's so egocentric, stubborn. My way is the right way. You get those two, they're not going to come. Only one is going to come out. Yeah. And one is going to come out, and that doesn't mean they're going to come out alive and well and kicking. They're going to come out worse for wear. And I am here for it.
Popcorn. It's time for
Yeah.
popcorn. Get your popcorn ready.
Every time I see, just like the Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk and their little Doge thing, they're already causing problems with the rest of MAGA. And I'm just like,
But wait, what's going on with Matt Gaetz? Aren't they trying to like expose him and pull those charges, that investigation? Like,
okay, can they charge him? Because they sure as shit should. Ooh, nice
they
alliteration. Sure as shit should.
yes.
Because just I don't understand why the Department of Justice didn't go after him with the information that we just got.
Oh yeah.
Which you knew was coming when they were saying, no, we don't want to release it. Whenever someone says, no, we don't want to release it, you know
Red
it needs to be
flag.
released. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like all the stuff that he has done. And I don't give a rat's ass. I worked in prison. I had inmates when I worked in reception that were arrested because of statutory rape, because they were 21 and 22, and the girl they were with was 16 and 17.
Yes.
And it's still mom pressed charges. Charges were given. But Matt Gaetz is like, well, I didn't know she was 17. I don't fucking care that you didn't
Doesn't
know she was
matter.
17.
Doesn't
She was
matter.
still 17. And if there are men in prison for doing less than what he did, why is he out walking free? Oh, wait. Sorry, rhetorical question, because he's a white conservative Christian male. That's probably why he's out walking free.
He's a friend of Trump, right?
Yep. And this I look back and I think, when did we, in all seriousness, become such a shit show? Like an outrageous circus shit show. I know that I've watched like CNN stuff about the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and you're like, wow, I didn't know that was going on. And I didn't know behind the scenes. We only know what we knew in the 90s, whatever. This is all out in there's no dirty laundry is not kept in the laundry anymore. Dirty laundry is waving everywhere.
It's social media. Yeah.
I do think that social media caused
everything gets posted on social media.
Yeah. But my God, fucking Trump wants Greenland. Canada, Panama Canal. I'm
And
so
wait,
glad I'm
didn't
in
he
California.
just take away the funding for the firefighters, the 9/11? Like they've supported him, and now he's like, no. I said, listen, let the supporters find out on their own. We're out of this. I don't
Yeah.
have a dog in this fight. Y'all chose him. You voted for him. Okay, you're about to find out.
You fucked around and now you're gonna find out.
Listen.
Yeah. I am so whenever I see there was a whole article because I have Apple News, which is I just put all the stuff I want to see or whatever and newspapers and things like that. So I don't even know what I have on it. So I couldn't tell you what news article this was. But
Mm-hmm.
on Apple News, there's a whole thing about how all of the farmers in California that voted
Yes.
for him,
Yes, I
yeah,
heard
they're
about
like,
that too.
he's
Yes.
not going to take our immigrants or our undocumented. What are
Oh, yes, he will.
what the fuck?
Yes, he
Do
will.
you people not get that he means what he says? Yes, he spews a lot that never comes to fruition, but he does mean it when he says it. It doesn't come to fruition because thankfully somehow he couldn't do it, not because he
Mm.
changed his mind or didn't want to do it. So, my God, I remember in 2016 when he first got elected and started deportations. And I remember this one, I don't know, small town where I think it was their doctor was going to be deported. I think it was from India, not even Mexico. I think it was from India. And everyone was like, no, he's a pillar of our community. We
Doesn't
didn't think
matter.
that that's who you meant. We thought
No.
you meant criminals. Okay, first off, if they're undocumented and you're going to say undocumented is illegal, then he's a criminal.
Yes.
This one lady, her kids are not, she's not legal, and her kids are what, DACA or dreamers or whatever birth, I don't know, they're here legally. But she's like, oh, they're not gonna come out, they're not coming after me.
Hmm.
I'm not in trouble. I have done nothing wrong. I haven't committed any crimes. And it's like,
Hmm. Okay.
bye-bye. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm I don't wish bad upon people if it's God's will that it happens.
Right.
I especially if you're an evangelical Christian who believes that we need more God in everything. So if something happens to you, it is God's will. And we shouldn't stop it, I guess. I mean,
His followers and supporters are so delusional. I had some friends of mine in my following who secretly hid that they support him. And then when he won, they were blasting him all over their pages. Yeah, Trump this, Trump that. And I said, fine. I unfriended. I didn't say anything. I just unfriended. Now I'm being hoovered, Doc.
yeah.
They don't. This is what I'm learning because I'm on on TikTok too. It's widespread on TikTok that his supporters, they're upset that we're not reacting the way. See
Yeah.
that stuff that happened on January 6th when they went up there and vandalized the Capitol and all that. They're expecting us to react the same way because we didn't win the election or whatever. No, we're just like, we're done. We're over it. We're
Yeah.
back onto our lives. They want a reaction out of people and they're lost now. They're like, okay, so now what? You voted for him. Why are you worried about us now? We don't care.
You
We're
know,
off of that.
the funny thing about that is that they'll now comment because we've gotten comments. I've gotten comments on videos that I posted
Yeah.
off of podcasts and stuff, and they'll say, "Oh, Trump derangement syndrome, another triggered liberal." It's like because we're talking about it civilly, that's a triggered liberal. So
And we're
yeah,
not attacking you. We're not
no.
bothering you guys at all.
And that's what they so like you said, they were like, "Oh, there's going to be a civil war." Ooh, and it's
No,
like
it's not.
I
No.
do. I really truly do believe something shady went on. I do with the election, especially
Yeah.
having Elon Musk and Starlink
Yeah.
and
I agree.
control over internet stuff and all of that. I do believe some shit was done.
Yeah, I agree.
But you know what? I'm not gonna. storm the Capitol. I'm not going to, it's like,
Right.
okay, you know what? I'm not happy. I just pray that in 4 years we're all still around and elect someone better. You know?
They got to fuck around and find out. I think it had as much, I'm disappointed, but also too, I said his supporters are hard headed. They have to fuck around and find out. That's the only way they're going to learn. And we just got it might be hard on us that, but we'll get on with life and we'll ignore them. And we're just going to see, I see all this bickering coming. I see them turning on each other, throwing each other underneath the bus. I see all of that coming. And you know what? It's none of my business. Y'all voted him in there, so deal with it. That's it.
The shitty thing is they're not going to learn. They're going to blame Biden and Harris
They are going to blame
Obama and Clinton. So
they're
that's the bad thing is that, they're not going to suddenly see the light. Because there are people now that are like, oh, now I can buy a home because he told us he was going to help us. And it's like, no, it was Harris that was going to help people buy a home, you dumbass. How did you mix that up? And people finding out that, well, guess what? Your student loan, people blame Biden because their student loans didn't get forgiven. But every time he tried, the Supreme Court and Republicans blocked it.
And that's a long-term issue that was there before Biden, because I got student loans. It's an ongoing issue. It's been there before him. So
Gen Z, unfortunately, a lot of Gen Z they interviewed and they said, I'm not voting for him because he didn't absolve the student loan thing. And it's like, okay, first off, when you get out of college, your loan wasn't going to be.
Exactly.
You were still going to have to pay student loan. It wasn't like you go to college and you graduate and woohoo, no student loan.
Yeah.
And that's what they were saying. They're like, well, that's why I went to college. I literally read this article about Gen Zs and why they weren't voting for Trump. And part of it was, well, he didn't come through with the student loan thing. So now I'll have student loans. It's like,
and they were there before Trump, my dear.
Do not have common sense. We don't have, unfortunately, free college for everybody. So you would have had to pay something. But it's like, it's okay. Now we get to sit back and pray to God that they do not destroy the country.
And he's supposed to take away even like the federal, the Pell Grants and all that. That's what I'm hearing. He's going to remove all of that. So
because he doesn't want people going to college. Because what happens when you go to college? Hopefully, what happens when you go to college?
You get smarter.
You get some critical thinking skills. You're not an idiot. And he even said many years ago that Republicans are stupid. That's why he's going to run Republican. And they still love it. It's in print. Going way back before AI and all that shit could make it up. And he said, oh, of course I would run Republican because they're dumb or stupid or whatever.
Wow.
And that's what he did. And they play right into it. He even did an interview, I think it was with Leslie Stahl. I think it was her, where he said, I'm going to make you guys look stupid. I am going to question everything. I'm going to turn everything on you. I'm going to turn the press on, everybody on the press. And that's what he did. So he does do what he says he's going to do because people
and he's going to do it again.
He is, to me, how do I explain this well? He is the stupidest, dumbest, but luckiest in whatever. He's not dumb.
He's a capitalist.
Yeah. And he
capitalizes off of every situation.
But he's smart because he's a narcissist. So he's smart on manipulating. He's smart on knowing what's going to work on people for a period of time. Because eventually,
Yes. Also, too, he's easy to manipulate. I've noticed that because Kamala, I'm not crazy about Kamala either, but she said something at one point at how the world leaders know how to manipulate him. So he is easy to manipulate. And what brings me, TikTok is facing a ban. I don't personally think it's going to be banned, but the leader, the CEO of TikTok, Shu, he's meeting with Trump or has met with him. So I'm wondering how that's going to go. But like, if they play their cards right and they know how to manipulate him, they can, you know what I mean?
He's
easy
TikTok.
To manipulate.
And he's on TikTok. So all you have to do, one, remember, he's NPD. How do
Yes.
you manipulate MPD? You shower them with ego boosting
You
shit.
kiss ass. You go smoke up their ass.
Yeah.
You kiss their ass. Feed the
As you're
ego.
being, if you can outsmart, I do not, people, caveat, disclaimer, whatever you want to call it, do
Right.
not try to outplay a narcissist.
Yeah.
Please
You'll
do not.
lose. You will lose.
Yeah,
You will
just
lose.
run the other direction. Don't think that this is any kind of secret code to NPD or anything like that. Do not
Yeah.
get involved with one ever if you can help.
Bow out. But we're talking about the president of the
Yeah.
United States elect.
So for him, all you need to do literally is kiss his ass as you're doing other shady stuff. You just phrase this shady stuff as how it's going to benefit him in his esteem and his look, your people will love you for this.
They love your TikTok. It would be a shame if you
Yeah.
took your
If you took
TikTok
it down,
channel from
how
your.
many followers you have on
Yeah.
TikTok? They'll all be gone.
And they all voted for you because of TikTok. If they
Yeah,
go in there and manipulate him and talk to
they'll
him and
keep
feed
it.
the ego, yeah.
And the
Or he'll
Supreme
convince
Court picked it up.
Congress.
The
Yes.
Supreme Court picked it up, so it's months anyways if it's going to happen beyond. Honestly, I might be in the minority here, but I wouldn't be sad if it was gone. Something else is going to take its place. But it has become
Yeah.
very hostile, I think.
Yeah.
I miss, and there are some dances going around now, but I miss the dances and the trends and the fun. And there's one dance going around now, though, that I asked my sister because she's coming tomorrow. I go, "Oh, should we do it?" And then I tried it, and I've had 3 back surgeries. So right now I'm having a flare up and stuff, and part of it is kind of jumping. And I'm like, yeah, no, I can't do it. Can't do it.
There'll be plenty more, Doc. Don't worry. There'll be
God,
many
I'm getting
more.
old. It hurts. And then I know that there's a 74-year-old that I follow who's like, she can kick her,
Yes.
Keiko something. Her name is Keiko, Kieko or something like that. And she
Yeah.
can kick and her legs like up here. And she jumps up on her pull-up bar and she pulls herself up. And I'm like, and if I jump to do that dance, I hurt.
And there's a nun. There's this old lady. She's a nun. She dances to all the hip hop music. She makes her TikToks. They go super viral. I'd be on the floor dying laughing. I'm like, go ahead, old lady. It's hilarious. Yeah.
It's like I can do it. I was doing it like not jumping in front of
Mhm.
my, just see if I could do it. And I'm like, okay, I want to do it. I want to do it. Because I grew up dancing.
Yeah.
I grew up in clubs. I took ballet and dance and movement or something like that, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, oh, I don't it really sorry. It fucking sucks when you're like, oh, it hurts. Jumps and I'm like, oh. It's like, is it worth it? Is it worth? I don't know.
It is. Don't give
know.
up. You never know what goes viral. The craziest stuff goes super viral. I'm telling you. So, TikTok has a backup. Lemonade. That's another app. So, did you make your Lemonade account?
But
good.
I did, but it doesn't move your TikTok stuff over, and I thought it did.
I thought so too.
Yeah. And
I'll follow you. I'm gonna follow you on Lemonade.
It's like I just made it so that way I had it.
Yeah.
But it's more like an Instagram or Pinterest, someone said.
Yeah, I think it's just there for the backup. They're prepping. I don't think TikTok's too powerful. Yeah. And then I'm hearing there's a lot of there was one guy that I saw on TikTok. He's like a multimillionaire. He filed a lawsuit against the government to stop them from banning TikTok. There's all types of stuff going on to prevent the government from banning TikTok. I don't think it's going anywhere for a while because it's a moneymaker. So many people are eating off of it. The politicians, I'm like, the politicians, even if they hate it, like, what about your children and your grandchildren? And they use it. So I'm like, they're going to get pressure from their friends and family. Like, what?
I think once Trump got on it, he ain't gonna let it go. No. Now, if he got on it and had no followers, like it didn't pick up, then he'd be like, get rid of it now.
Yeah.
He's got, I don't know how many followers because I haven't even looked him up. I don't want any on
I haven't either.
But he doesn't want to let that go.
It's narc supply.
Yeah.
It's feeding that narc, that ego.
Supply. Which
Yeah.
makes me wonder, do you remember? Oh my God, I just totally drew a blank on his name. Her name's Chelsea, and his name, he's Native American, and he was really big in 2000, 2000 and I'm sorry, 2021, 22. And then he and Chelsea had hooked up. Lance Tusi. What was his
Okay. The
name?
story sounds familiar.
What was his name on TikTok? But his name is Lance Tusi, but I can't remember his TikTok handle. But
Mm-hmm.
they hooked up, and she's in Alaska, I believe it was, and he is in Colorado, and they hooked up, but then he was also seeing other people. So she
Ooh.
apparently it was TikTok drama back in 2021, and I'm like, I don't, or 2022, and I'm like, what the hell? But he was very big on hey colonizer. That was his key
Ooh.
phrase was hey colonizer. If you look him up, you'll know. You will
I
know
will.
because he was all over TikTok. And he's supply, supply, supply. What's his name? The big self-aware narc. Oh God.
Not Lee Hammock.
Yes, Lee Hammock.
Ugh.
I wonder
Ugh.
because I don't hear about him as much. I know Lance Tusi, who had millions of followers, got off of TikTok because of that. I don't hear about Lee Hammock as much. I don't even know if he's on
No.
TikTok. And I wonder what happened to them because that was huge narc supply.
I
So
was
I
so angry
wonder.
when they made their channels. I hated them. I hate those channels.
Mm-hmm. And there was, although I would rather have that than what we have now, which is all the political hatred and all of that. I don't like that either one of them.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. I feel like TikTok is not fun. It needs to go back to being fun again.
Well, you know what it is, Doc? That content creator program where they pay you. The more views you get on your video, the more money it pays you. So that's where narcs are money hungry. They like narc supply and they like money. They're capitalists like Trump. So they took advantage. They all came over on the TikTok. TikTok used to be so fun and full of just genuine creative people, organic. It was fun. Then it changed when that content creator program came out. Hey, we'll pay you. The more views you get on your video, well, the more money you get. So here come all the abusers like, oh shit, I'm out to capitalize and really rage bait and say all types of shit to get people to view my videos. That's what happened.
And that's what TikTok has become, that word, rage bait. A
Yes.
lot of TikTok is rage bait. I don't go on TikTok that much anymore because I've been doing other
Yeah.
things. I've been working on the podcast and my shameless plug here. My travel bestie and I have it's a vlog on YouTube called Jody and Candy Go Places. And that's what we
Yes.
do. We go places. Like my son and I went to the Kings hockey game. So we talk about that and how we got the tickets and where we sat and the food and stuff. So some of the stuff is free that we go to. Like we went to the Long Beach Harbor on a harbor
Mm-hmm.
cruise. So we talk about that. It's videos. They're only like 3-4 minutes long. That's
Yeah.
on YouTube. Go to Jody and Candy Go Places. So I've been doing that and I've been busy. So I go on TikTok mainly when my son sends me videos. I love my son. He sends me
Aw.
videos. I know when he's awake in the morning, I'll get videos from him. Mainly sports because we love the Dodgers. But so I haven't been on as much. I don't scroll as much because I'll start to scroll and then it becomes political or angry or whatever. I'm like, I don't want that. I want mind-numbing stuff. I want educational stuff, but not
Yeah.
fighting, not
Yeah.
hatred, not whatever. And there was a lot of that, so I kind of pulled away and I haven't really made videos or anything.
Yeah.
Um, or gone live. I haven't gone live in a long time, so I might do that in 2025.
Yeah.
But I wish that Instagram, at least I haven't checked it in a while, but my Instagram, it's only 60 seconds. So at least, so you can't like put all the same stuff that you have on TikTok on Instagram because it's only 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Or is it more than that? And I just don't
No,
know.
I hate Instagram. My following should be way higher on Instagram. I don't bother with it because it's all these stipulations. They don't show your videos. They don't give
Oh,
you the proper views.
yeah.
I hate Instagram. I deactivated my face. Deactivated my TikTok recently because they're trying to ban my page. A lot of people are like, did you block me? I said, I didn't block anybody. I deactivated my page because the community guidelines and stuff and different stipulations is just biased. You know what I mean? So Instagram is terrible, Facebook, and I'm just like, TikTok, please do not turn into Facebook or Instagram. They're terrible already. You were unique when you first came out. You
Be
gave us
good, yeah.
creative people that were organic and seeking just information genuinely. It's changing, and I don't want it to change in what Facebook and Instagram was or Twitter.
There is another app called Clapper,
Oh,
Clapper. The only problem is Clapper, because I did join Clapper a long time ago, but Clapper is like the Wish version of TikTok
I
or
wish.
the Timu version of TikTok. It really needs to up its game
Yeah.
a lot. So I have an account. Every once in a while, I'll take one of my TikTok videos and post it over there,
Mhm.
but just to keep it going. But it's like,
Yeah.
you guys could be so much better. I don't know if TikTok has like a copyright or a patent or whatever, but why are you like the Wish version? Like, up your game, and maybe
Right.
you can pull people from TikTok, because the first time TikTok was going to be banned, people did come over.
Yeah.
Then because it's so elementary and it's just bad. People
Yeah.
didn't stay because then TikTok was back. But you could legitimately make that a decent one. It's called Clapper.
I'm
Uh,
gonna look it up and make an account.
but you know what, TikTok, I had a video that I reposted, because that's a lot of what I've been doing lately, is just reposting my on this days from 2021.
Mhm. Yeah.
And they sent me a notice. Somebody reported numerous people have reported your video as branded content. I'm like,
What?
branded content? I'm talking about when I worked in prison and taught. What am I branding but myself, I guess? I'm like, no, it's not branded content.
And you don't mention other brands in your video. You're
There's
speaking
no
on
brand in my
experience.
video. Like,
What?
so I was like, who would report my video unless they're trying? There's somebody out there after all these years that's still trying, and that was the only thing I can
Yes.
come up with. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. Branded content? I ain't
They
gonna do
just hit the
that.
report button just to be spiteful.
And
I get that all the time.
I joined the creator content thing back when I was first on TikTok. And as soon as I joined, my views went way down
Yeah.
because they pay per view. So yeah, it went way down. And I have had the same amount of followers for 2 years. It's gone up and down, maybe 100.
Banning.
Big
Yeah.
time. Big time. I don't know how I can have the same amount of followers when I have gained a lot, but every time I gain, I've lost more than I've gained. I'm like, that's really doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, look, I just opened it up and I gained 60 followers. Why am I down 80? Yeah. So my follower count has not changed in 2 years. I don't know if anybody
Yeah.
else that's happened to, but yeah.
I know somebody that's going through that now. He has over 500,000 followers. He's shadow banned. He's like, look, I just made another account. You guys follow my other account because TikTok, I don't know what's going on. So
Yeah.
he's frustrated. No, there's quite a few people having the same issues. I go through it sometimes. They've shadow banned me quite a few. They're trying to delete me now. So I said, let me just deactivate and stay out of Dodge.
I
Yeah.
understand that you do have to kind of censor because people are really rude, especially off camera. Off,
Yeah.
you don't see me, so I can say whatever shit I want to your
Yeah.
face. Never. Um, so they do have to do something, but at the same time, it's like I liked it when I first got on TikTok. Like, I post a video and it just goes out to the For You page. And there was no shadow ban. There's people now
Yeah.
it's like I will not have looked at videos for 2 weeks on TikTok. I kid you not. And I decide to go on and I scroll on my following page or follower page, what following, and I'll see like 5 videos and they'll say, okay, you're at the end of all the new videos. Like, how am I at the end? I haven't even been on for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I unfriended someone or unfollowed someone after Trump. And now on my For You page, that's all I get is that person. Like, really? I unfollowed, so I didn't see this
So
person.
you're trying to force them down my throat
Exactly.
now.
Yeah. So I don't like the whole algorithm shit
No.
on anything. And then like on mine, I'll have a video and I post it. I'm like, holy shit, that hit. That hit as soon as it got out. And then once I hit like my notifications to see the comments and stuff, literally, I kid you not, that stops it. I don't get any more after that.
Yeah.
Fucking TikTok.
Yeah.
So, speaking of TikTok, how are you? I know, is it not a this is a total non sequitur. Speaking of TikTok,
That's okay.
how are you doing? How has your year been now that we're at the end?
I one word, stoic. I kept the emphasis on just trying to work on me, do things that make me happy. I kept a lot off of social media.
You said that last year. I do remember last year you saying, I am
Yeah,
not going to be on social media as much this year because
yeah.
I'm going to focus on me. So you did it.
I
You did
stuck
it.
to it. Had an incredible year of just improving my health and my emotional. I just, kept the focus on peace. With the exception of I'm a mom, and we as moms, we love our children and we got to help our children work through their issues. So that basically was it. But I stuck to the program, the script of just I went dancing. I took on a new dance, Brazilian Zouk. I absolutely love it. I stayed with my fitness trainer, stayed in shape, made sure my health was good. The only thing that blew me away, I was clinically diagnosed with autism, Asperger's. And I know that we're not supposed to use Asperger's, but that's what they would call what I have. I recently learned that I am autistic. So that was a mind blow. um, because I tried to deny it for so long. Other people saw it in me. My doctors saw it in me. And, another thing too, like a lot of people think they can just go get tested. Insurance companies do not pay for adult testing for autism, and it's very expensive. I got the cheaper end. I paid $700, but I'm hearing, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. It's a lot of money, and people don't have the money for the testing. But I said, you know what? Let me save up my money, and I got to do this for me. I have to know. There's a burning desire in me. I want to connect the dots in my childhood. I want peace. I want to be able to be self-aware. I want to be accountable for anything I've done wrong. Lord knows I've had many therapists and psychologists over the years. So my primary care, she was the one. She said, I suspect. And I'm like, are you sure? And then I went on a girls' vacation last year. We went to Cabo. It was like 5 of us. And I don't know, one girl was like, you have Asperger's. I said, excuse me? Just by observing me on the vacation, my behavior, she's like, yeah, I think you do. Have you been tested? I said, no, this is the first time I've heard it. I blew it away. I'm like, okay, it is what it is. Then when my primary care doctor said it, I'm like, okay, let me stop running. Let me just, for my own peace, go get tested. So I went to SAC Center. They're based here in New York City. They have locations everywhere. And I was appointed a licensed clinical psychologist. I spent my money. I paid $700. I feel it was worth it. And we went through a series of testing for a couple of hours. And he told me, my walls are painted black. I thought it was just because I like the color black, but no, I have light sensitivity, which autistic people are sensitive. We have sensory issues. I can't use the bathroom unless I take my clothes off because I don't like fabric touching my
How is
skin.
my son? I don't know if he's still like that because he's now 22, but I know when he was little, everything comes off. Yeah.
Doc, I've been doing that since I was about 5 years old, and I thought it was normal. I didn't think nothing of it. And I have poor eye contact with people and just all these things, like everything just started to line up. I'm like, oh my God. When they ran those tests on me, I'm like, oh my God, no way. Everything checked off the box. And I'm thinking this is normal. But now I'm like, now I know why mom and dad bullied me. Now I know why mom and dad didn't get me evaluated. And I went around, they set me up to get abused by more people, and everything started making sense. So I'm relieved on one end, but on the other, there's this sadness and this grieving process that I'm currently going through right now, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
Because
yeah.
if I would have known then, that would have potentially changed things. Okay, I am not questioning your diagnosis by any means. So when I
Yeah.
say this is not directed at you personally.
Mm-hmm.
I started my career working at UCLA, the Center for the Behavioral Treatment of Children, which is autistic children.
Yeah.
Back then, there was autism, Asperger's, Rett syndrome, and pervasive developmental disorder. Those four in 2013 all came under the umbrella of autistic spectrum disorder or autism
Yeah.
spectrum disorder. I personally hate that because they are different disorders.
Yeah.
Now, my son fell under pervasive developmental disorder. So now he's part of the spectrum.
That's what I was diagnosed with first initially.
Okay. Now, what
Pervasive.
pervasive developmental disorder is there is something there. There's something there that's affecting your social, emotional, occupational, whatever, but it's not autism. It doesn't
Right.
quite fit autism, but it's something. We just
Yeah.
we just don't, it's like all the extra stuff that we don't know where it's pervasive developmental disorder because it is affecting your developmental ability. Asperger's, which they used to call high functioning autism,
Used to.
but
Yeah.
it was still a separate diagnosis. That is for those of you, if you've ever watched The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon on The Big Bang Theory is most likely Asperger's.
Mm-hmm.
My ex, I said to him, I used to think you were Asperger's. Now I know you're NPD. And he's like, well, what's the difference? And I said, honestly, Asperger's, there is a social disconnect. There is a
Yes.
difference with social cues. Now, yes, there's the same thing with NPD. The difference is Asperger's aren't trying to hurt you.
We don't
Asperger's
hurt.
are
We
not
love you.
trying to have that disconnect.
We would feel terrible hurting anybody. No.
NPD wants to fuck you up.
That's
Now
it.
you could be both. I think my ex has Asperger's as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's just something off with him besides the NPD. But the thing is, we have become, since we made it a spectrum, and even the whole DSM, everybody has something.
Yes.
So to say that you're not, I'm not saying you said this particular thing, but to say for people to think they're not normal, I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that. I tell my son, he has special needs. We all have special needs. We all do. We process things all differently. We learn things differently. Our needs are special to us. So, yes, I use the word special needs when I talk about my son sometimes, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't use it in a derogatory way, like, oh, he's
Right. The
we
narcissist
all,
uses it.
yeah, we all have our needs that are special to us. Like some
Yes.
learn hands-on, some need more processing time,
Yes.
whatever. So I don't like to use it as, oh, you have special needs, but we all do. So that's how I told my son before. But with autism, it's treated differently. And that's what bothers me is that the various 1, 2, 3, 4 now that they do makes how you treat it.
Yes.
I don't like that because like I treated someone who was more on the nonverbal, more higher support needs. We used to call it high and low functioning, and oh my God, I got yelled at for that. No, we use high support needs and low support needs. Whatever. You can't please everybody. But who have high support needs. Back then, it was like a kind of a spectrum of you have autism and we can tell. It was kind of easy to tell. Easier than Asperger's and PDD.
Mm-hmm.
Now with everybody's like, I have autism, and it kind of dilutes it. for you to get necessarily the specific care that you need, if that makes any sense.
This is what I want to ask you because you're the right person, and it makes my stomach turn inside out. TikTok. We
Oh,
have we have narcissistic mothers exploiting their autistic children for the content creator fund. There's one lady on there, her son is clearly autistic, and she videos him slapping her. He's a big boy, he's like 15 or 16. He slaps her and beats her. And she's like, okay, all right, stop, honey. She treats it like it's not a big deal. Like, okay, just calm down. Mama's here. He's slapping the crap out of her face. He's like 300 pounds, huge boy. His name is Cash, I think. I'm like, this lady is doing this for views. I would not have my child. I would not exploit my child on social media. My child would be getting help right now. My child would be in a facility. I can't stand these narcissistic mothers that use their children's disability. I suspect there's women in my family doing it now. I won't say who, but they exploit their children for narc supply and money. So that's the new trend right now. And it makes me really sick.
And it's sad. I was thinking about this the other day that I kind of wish that we had cell phones with cameras. Like when my son was little, I took pictures for the camera. Like every freaking day, my poor son, every day I'm taking pictures every 5 minutes. I could put them all together and have probably 10 years worth of every single day pictures.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish that I had social media at the time just to have more documentation. But also, I'm also glad that I wasn't putting everything. Like we have our channel, like I said, where we're videotaping, and putting it on there. And sometimes it's like, I am not the type of person that I'm not going to sit there and professionally do all this. I want to be in the moment and do it. So I'll be recording, but I'm recording like this. You know what I mean? It's like I'm watching. So I'm not getting the best shots. I'm just doing whatever as I'm trying to be as involved as I can. But what I don't like is I see it a lot on TikTok. And one thing is I do understand finding community, finding support, finding your people. I am not against that. But when I see on social media, every 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, that one doesn't. 7, 8, 9, ASPD, ASD, they're all the alphabet. Everybody is everything. And it's like, are you really? Or are you just, ooh, that looks like me, so I'm going to put it. So I want to ask you, getting the diagnosis, I get the grieving part. You're going to go through that. That's sadly, unfortunately, we can't get back what's already happened.
Yeah.
But do you feel, how do I put this? I guess relief?
Absolute relief. Okay. Because I knew something was wrong, or I won't say wrong. I knew something was off. My entire life, I had all these behaviors. I haven't, people say, well, where's some of the traits? I released some of the traits, but not all, because some things are very personal to me that I shared with my psychologist. But I knew something was off, and mom and dad refused to deal with it. Mom and dad were warned. There were suggestions from my teachers, and it's like, F you, from the baby boomer generation. My parents are baby boomers. Like, I don't want no labels on my kid. Who are you to tell me? And comparing that now, I'm a mom and my baby had her issues. I immediately addressed her issues in daycare. The moment they told me, I was like, I don't care what nobody thinks about me. I don't want my child to suffer. I'm going to get her therapy immediately, because we need therapy to help manage our life skills and how to interact with society. And it's selfish. It's like you're setting your child up to be, bullied further if you don't help your child. So it made me like, I felt a sense of relief because I knew something was off. But again, it's just like, I'm looking at mom and dad like, you guys were too busy fist fighting and doing what y'all do. I needed help. I failed a lot of classes. I got bullied so bad in school. High school, I got bullied. And I'm just connecting it all to my autism. So I feel relief, and I'm just going to use it all to help educate people further to get tested.
That was going to be my
But
next question is like, now that you
yeah,
know, what do you do with it?
help others. That's all. It's nothing I can do to change the past. That's the grieving part. When
Yeah.
you think you need that, when you think you're done with therapy, there's always something new like, oh shit, get your ass back in therapy. So
Coming
I'm
from
like,
a
I need more
psychologist,
therapy.
I can back that one up. Yes, indeed.
Just
Yeah.
got done with therapy for the past 6 to 9 months. I'm good. Oh, here comes something else.
Yeah.
Oh shit, let me get my ass back in therapy. God damn it. I
And
thought I was done.
I really, really, truly wish that they didn't make it a spectrum. I really do, and a lot of us do. The
Yeah,
DSM it sucks. It's mainly psychiatrists that make the DSM. And what I don't like is I understand that we have to have a diagnosis. I get it.
yeah,
I totally do. But we have come in this society, and I don't know if it's just more awareness, better diagnostic tools, or social media, but everybody is something to the point of we all can fit. I remember when this DSM came out, the DSM-5, it was like we can all fit in there somewhere. We
all of us, all of
so
us,
yeah, and I
all of
don't
us.
like where it's like it has become who really I felt this for a long time, which is part of why I got into psychology, but it's like seriously, what is normal? Normal is society based. We all, and I don't like using absolutes, but we all have our quirks, our
Yes,
ways that we do things. So we
yes.
could all now, when unless you're talking about depression and um what is schizophrenia and stuff like that. But we
Mm-hmm.
can all in our day-to-day lives, we can have traits and tendencies of a lot of these things.
Absolutely.
So it becomes, I cannot stand one thing. Oh, this so bothers me on social media. I'm neurodivergent. I'm neurotypical. Neurodivergents do this. You know what? I'm bipolar too, and I just real found out this past year that that's neurodivergent.
Yes.
I did always say that I felt like I was on a different wavelength than most people. I felt I operated on a different wavelength, but I didn't attribute it to anything like we gotta label it or whatever. So I
Yeah.
can't stand labels. And I hope now that you know that you're on the spectrum, it doesn't define you.
No, it doesn't. It answered a lot of
Yeah.
questions, and I'm just going to use it to help others. And you know what, Doc, the bipolar thing, because my daughter has bipolar. Um, just imagine all the folks walking around delusional that need diagnosis, need to be in the therapist chair, that are picking and making fun of those of us who have like that's my thing. Like, who the fuck are you to talk about me? Have you been to the therapist chair? That's my thing. Those are pointing fingers.
Yeah.
They probably need the therapy more than the
Oh,
rest.
honestly, you are 100% right because those that believe that they don't are
Are the
most likely the ones that do.
those are the main ones?
Yeah.
Yep.
And we have learned in society going way back to the 50s, 60s, whatever. I've seen them on TV where it's like the shrinks. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not mentally ill. Therapy is for coping with life. And if your life is so good that you've got it all figured out, more power to you.
Which is a lie.
Yeah. I'm trying to be polite.
It's a
But
lie.
honestly, I think I really, really, we got insurance parity a few years ago, where finally insurance has started covering mental health because they didn't cover it at all. But I think it should be preventative. I think that when people come to therapy, you have to build insurance, you have to have a billable diagnosis. So
Yes.
I always tell my clients, this is the diagnosis I'm giving you. Don't freak out if it sounds like I have anxiety, whatever. I said, because we have to bill. I don't,
Yeah.
yes, I care about your diagnosis, but I'm going to help you with your symptoms. I'm going to help you to cope. I'm going to help you with
Yeah.
everything.
But insurance companies need to know what
Need
the
that
fuck is the
diagnosis.
reason. If you want us to pay, we need to know. That's
Absolutely.
the reality.
So
Yeah.
yeah, don't freak out. You have major depressive disorder. It doesn't mean you're going to kill yourself. You know what I mean? It's like, so I explain people's diagnoses and stuff like that. So I understand that we need diagnoses. However, I really truly wish that we could get therapy before the diagnosis comes in.
I
Just like
agree.
getting a mammogram or a colonoscopy before to
Yeah.
prevent hopefully getting. So people can come saying, you know what, I am not doing very well. It's not
Yeah.
diagnosable, but I don't want to become clinically depressed. I don't want to clinically have generalized anxiety disorder. I'm coming to you because I'm trying to not get there. I really wish that
Exactly.
insurances would cover that.
Yeah.
But that's probably as far-fetched as having a really what?
Oh my God. I almost forgot to ask you for your opinion. Why we have a licensed clinical psychologist, Doc,
Who's
what do
probably
you
drinking
think?
this whole bottle after I talked about it earlier, not doing it.
I would help you drink that if I was there. Listen, Doc, we forgot to talk about Diddy and Jay-Z, Doc.
Okay.
Come
Well,
on,
you're talking
Doc.
about
I
all
need
that
a
shitstorm of 2024?
this is going to unravel in 2025 though, but those of us
Yeah.
that have discernment and can read through stuff really well, and I think you have a high level of discernment as I do, I'm calling it. Okay, I'll listen to you first, Doc, because I got a lot to say about this, but I wanted a professional's opinion on both of them, Diddy and Jay-Z, with these rape allegations.
Okay. First off, I'm not sure about the Jay-Z one, only because of all the holes in the girl's story.
Yeah.
Because I was reading about it and I do believe women, but no, I also believe facts.
Mm-hmm.
So he was not even where she said he was on the night that he was supposed to be there. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I hope she's wrong.
And they're saying too, she's autistic and, she has developmental disability. She has issues. So
But
I don't
dad doesn't
know.
even remember picking her up ever 4 hours away from
Yeah.
home. So I don't know. So do
Yeah.
I believe the Jay-Z thing? I'm not. I'm on the fence. I'm
It's sketchy. Right.
hoping no. But Diddy, here's the thing. Let me see if I can explain this well. Like at work, when I worked in the prison, we had dirty officers. And people would say that the job makes them that way. And I'm like, no, these people are
Mm-mm.
already that way. That's
Yes.
why they take these jobs.
Yes. I
So someone
agree.
like a Diddy was already power hungry, whatever, whatever, whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
as he got to where he was, it gave him more free reign to do what he wanted to do.
Yes.
If 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 I don't have the funds to throw orgies, if you will, and I don't have the je ne sais quoi to pull women, where do I get the je ne sais quoi? Money and power, and then I have
Mm-hmm.
it. But he, first off, if enough people are claiming some knowledge of something, there was something.
Yeah.
There's more than enough people that are not backing him up, if that makes sense, than are. So I
Yeah.
do believe, but I'm not. One thing I think that we get hung up on again is putting a label on and a diagnosis. And I'm not saying he's diagnosable as anything because there are just people that are just plain old fucking pieces of shit
Mm-hmm.
who are just waiting for the right time, the right place, the right opportunity. So he could have been a mass rapist, if you will, if he didn't have
Mm-hmm.
power. But since he got to where he got and has power, it's so easy. And what happens is they get this
Yes.
into this delusion of, I have money, I have wealth, I have whatever, so this isn't wrong.
I can do whatever I want.
Right. It's not wrong. Now, if I was some poor person out on the street putting people in my house and drugging them, I mean, that's a crime. But
Yeah.
having these massive parties with all of these people and doing the shit that we're doing, I'm a celebrity. I mean, what girl is going to turn me down.
Right. How could you turn me
So
down? I'm so and so.
exactly. I can, what is it my son called? Pull chicks. I can pull chicks because of who I am. I really liked Diddy. I really did. I thought I'm so mad. Like, and I love the people that, oh, he's Democrat. Oh, I don't care.
Yeah.
Your political whatever does not matter. You could be an asshole regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And he used his power and his wealth. He would have
Yes, he
been the
did.
same. Yeah, if he had no money or nothing, he would have been probably in prison right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he is in prison right now, but you know what I mean. But because he had that power, that wealth, it's accepted. For how many years did it go on?
3 decades, 30 years of it.
What do
And
you
it's
think?
multiple people coming forward. And it's just all the stories are identical. He drugged me with alcohol, and I woke up with my genital sore. It's the same story repeatedly. I'm like, oh my. And the girl that said he assaulted her with a remote control. Oh,
You know, I hate saying this because I'm not condoning anything. I'm super glad he got caught. But if he wouldn't have beat his ex on camera,
yeah, that was bad. That was
he
so
probably wouldn't be
bad.
in prison right now because it's still a he said, she said,
It
whatever.
is. Yeah.
But it's on camera, dude. That guy was who he is and who he always was.
And then he lied about it before the video came out. He lied, said, I did not do these things. This is a money grab, blah, blah, blah. Then they dropped the video. It was like, oh,
It
oh
makes
yes, you
me
did.
seriously, these sick, disgusting people who do this and end up in prison because they're not rich and famous. So they end up
Right.
in prison pretty quickly, whereas he went on for decades.
Yes,
And
he
just because
did.
one woman was brave enough to say something one time and keep it going, it's like, I'm not dropping this.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing, man. Just because you have money or power or both, people think that they can, and sorry to get back to this, but Trump, perfect example. People think they can get away with it, and some of them do.
The
Now,
thing too, the thing too, Doc, too, with the what I wanted to ask you, like with Diddy and Jay-Z, you knew this stuff was coming. They both knew these horrible allegations were coming. Why not settle them before it gets to the public? And
did he
because of the
did? He tried.
well, she demanded a certain amount, and he refused, and then it went public, and he paid her off within 24 hours.
But
I'm
I
like,
thought
is
there was
that the
another one that
narcissism?
yeah, I thought there was another one that he did pay off. Someone
I,
before that
I
he
can't keep up with his victims. With Cassie, and then he's sending her the cryptic message when he was on the award show. It was eerie, but it's like what I noticed with narcissists is like if you challenge them, they're just going to want to compete and outdo you. How dare you challenge me? How dare you?
well, let's separate narcissistic personality disorder from an egotistical, egocentric, full of themselves
Okay.
narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know Diddy enough to know if he's an actual MPD, but he is
Yeah.
egocentric. Most people that rise up like that have an ego.
Yeah.
Have me, I am the best, but they're not necessarily NPD because they're
Mm-hmm.
not out to because they've already got I don't know how to explain it, but they're not necessarily NPD. You can be egocentric, full of
Yeah.
yourself. What is the word I'm looking for? It starts with an A. Arrogant, pompous asshole.
Haughty.
Yeah, but not necessarily be NPD, but you have traits. It's just the money that made it even more
intensified
like
it. Yeah.
I can do whatever I want because I've got money. So I think there was someone that he paid money to before. And that's the thing. When you have that money and power, it kind of adds to it because you can put money in, throw money at everything. Throw
Yeah.
money at everything and it works. So you become even more narcissistic because I just throw money at this shit. I tell my people to take care of it. People do it for me. You and narcissistic personality starts at the age of 18, you're diagnosed, but it doesn't just start at the age of 18. You could see traits and tendencies getting,
Yes.
building up. But I think that when someone has power and money,
it's way
you may
worse.
not have been NPD, but you are an egotistical, arrogant, pompous asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you just throw money at everything. And eventually it does come crashing down. Because once Diddy is in prison, like I'm not talking about right now, he's waiting for his trial and all of that. I'm talking about once you're sentenced and you live there, you're not special anymore. You
And
might,
you know that firsthand because you worked in the prisons. You
yeah.
know, you see it, you've seen it up close.
And as a matter of fact, there are people who, yes, you are special because you who you are. And then there are those that are like, oh, we're going to show you that you are not special.
Woo! Can't
Yeah.
imagine. Can't
So
imagine.
being someone like Diddy does not mean you're going to have an easy sentence because you're who you are. It means that there are people there who are not going to like who you are. And you are now one of us. So you are not special. And we know you have money.
Oh, so let's exploit them.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. That's why, like, they would always ask us, we had to let the prison know if we knew anybody or were connected with anybody in prison, not necessarily for their safety, but for ours. Because if somebody knew, so your friend is that clinician right there? Huh. Okay. Well, we're going to hurt that clinician unless you give us money, or we're going to hurt you unless that clinician does this and this and this for us. So it's not all, people think, oh, well, he's going to just, he's going to be Diddy.
No.
No, he's not. He's going to be potentially knocked down.
Somebody's bitch. Somebody's
Oh,
personal.
yeah. Now he might be high and mighty, but high and mighty doesn't always stay high and mighty in prison.
Yeah.
And the fall is hard. But when you have money, your money is our money.
We have to see in 2025, Doc.
I
know we're gonna be having multiple conversations about this in 2025 because I just feel like it's going to be a year of just endless shit to talk about between our president-elect.
Endless content.
Bring on the Trump, Elon Musk bullshit. Bring it all on. It's going to be a crazy year. I know it. I feel it.
So, subscribe, click the little bell, which tells you when we drop an episode, because we plan to have Spiritual Whistleblower like once a month, I think you said potentially.
I did.
Yes, hopefully.
Yes.
To talk about this stuff. It'll be a catch up, an update, the latest. Oh, I think 2025 is going to be good.
So firecracker year, just get ready.
So have your popcorn, have your wine, have your tequila, have your whatever, and make sure you tune in because I think, yes, we are in for a bumpy road that we will navigate and attempt to make sense of.
Yes.
Somehow, some way. So thank you so much. Happy New Year, everybody. Have a healthy,
Happy New Year.
prosperous New Year's. And
yes.
We will see you soon in 2025.
Bye.
Bye. Where? Oh, there we go.